There's another young man called Matthew Shirker, who's an American, whose father actually put him through conversion therapy when he was 16, to stop being gay. He'd come out as gay. His father said they were secular Jews, but the tradition of Judaism was important to the father, and he wasn't having any of it. But he loved his son, put him through conversion therapy, which did his head in, as you can imagine. It was so terrible. He describes how he's in the family house. He's 16, 17. The therapy says you're not allowed to talk to your mother and sisters. So for 2 years, he basically had to come down to breakfast and not talk to his mother and sisters. I mean, it was just like the most brutal, cruel form of therapy. Anyway, by 18, he's rejected all that. He's come out. It takes him a long time to feel comfortable in his body. Won't see his father, understandably. His father moves to Israel. 5 years later, he decides, I have to see him again. I need to mend this terrible rift. I don't know what's going to happen. He gets a plane, goes to Israel. And again, he describes. So they have a long conversation. His father again says, you must change. You've got to change. Go back to therapy, etc., etc. And this time he responds differently. He doesn't respond with anger. He stops. He looks at his father in the eyes and he said, you have to understand. I'm happy. I'm leading my best life. This is how I'm going to be. I'm okay, he says. And with that, his father shifts and changes. And the reason his father shifts and changes and accepts is because his son has understood that his father is only doing this because his father loves him. He wasn't doing it to be cruel, vindictive. He was trying to help his son lead the happiest life that he could. And he thought this was the right way of doing it. And so in a way, Matthew had to come forward strong, say, no, I'm happy. It's all right, Dad. I'm happy and I'm okay and I'm going to lead my best life. And hugged him. And, he describes it much better than I am, actually. Matthew Shirker, if anyone's interested, on the website. It's a very, very beautiful story, I think.
Yeah,
taking that action, going to Israel, seeing his father, confronting it in a way, but with compassion this time, not anger.
I think there's a beautiful space that we can reside in with ourselves sometimes, when we can hear the same story that actually involves us personally, but we almost we have our boundaries, we're firm in ourselves, but we almost take ourselves out of the story briefly just to see it from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
And because what you just described there, the idea that despite what he went through, that he could actually open the space to see that his father in some way was doing this out of love.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's a remarkable perspective to be able to even get a glimmer of, let alone to act from.